These are the most common fake foods that you're eating daily and probably have in your kitchen. Hey Wellness Warrior, I'm Dr. Nick Zarowski, and fake foods are no good because you're either getting ripped off or poisoned, and the chance is you're actually getting both of those. So let's go ahead and dive right into our first fake food, and that's going to be truffle oil. The fact is that truffles are very impossible to mass produce. And so what they have to do is go out and search for these different truffles, and so it is hard to come by, and also whenever you see a truffle oil, it's going to be very expensive. So if you go to a restaurant and you're getting something cooked in truffle or something fried in truffle oil, there is a high likelihood that that is not from truffle oil. What is very commonly used in the marketplace is going to be a truffle oil that is actually full of sunflower oil and other vegetable oils. And then what it has is an artificial ingredient derived from petroleum that actually gives it a truffle-like flavor. Pretty nasty stuff. And I also recommend that you know the brand you're buying it from, okay? Because you want to make sure that you can trust the brand, that they're not putting a whole bunch of fillers in it of other oils and ripping you off. Here's the thing, is just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's the real deal. But if it's cheap, it is definitely not the real deal. Now let's go ahead and talk about maple syrup. And this is something I know quite a bit about because we make it with trees from my property. Maple syrup is something that is highly faked out there. What you're gonna find is high fructose corn syrup with caramel color and possibly rice syrup and a whole bunch of other stuff out there. And many people don't know the difference between maple syrup and that. And so what you want to make sure you're doing is when you look at these different bottles of syrup, you want to make sure that they say 100% pure maple syrup and not things like pancake syrup or table syrup. You want to make sure you're getting the real deal because this one's often faked and most people miss it. Now let's talk about wasabi. It just dawned on me a few years ago that I had never actually tried real wasabi because all the wasabi that I have ever come in contact with is simply horseradish with other ingredients in it. It's not always bad for you if it's coming from horseradish, but you'll find that a lot of wasabis on the market are loaded with a lot of really low quality ingredients, so you gotta be careful for that. And now, the next on our list is Parmesan cheese, which is loaded with a lot of junk in most cases. Here's the thing that's interesting about Parmesan cheese. Most of it is made in a place in Italy called Emilia Romagna, and that is Parmesan Reggiano cheese. That's the real deal if you want to get the real Parmesan. And it's likely not going to be coming in a canister all shredded up. It'll probably come in a big old chunk of it. Parmesan cheese in the stores, the traditional Parmesan cheese, has been found to be fake many times over the years. What's been found of it is that it'll have things like cellulose in it from wood pulp. It'll have rice flour in it. There was actually one brand from a big grocery store, Walmart, and what they found is it had upwards of 8% wood pulp in it, which is pretty nasty because I don't want to eat that in my food. So make sure you're getting the real deal, and that's the Parmigiano Reggiano from Emilia Romagna, Italy. Now let's talk about vanilla. Now this is something that's pretty interesting too, because most vanilla products on the market don't actually come from the vanilla bean. They come from an artificially flavored vanilla source, something that's made in a lab. So whenever you're using anything with vanilla, make sure that it's coming from the vanilla bean. Now, just like we want to make sure we're avoiding these fake foods, we also want to make sure that we're avoiding fake skincare products. Skincare products that are loaded with chemicals and not good or healthy for your skin at all. And this is why I recommend our sponsor of today's video, and this is going to be Great Lakes Organics Tallow Lotion. Great Lakes Organics Tallow Lotion is an ancestral-based skincare product that's infused with different scents such as lavender, lemon, or even vanilla. It's a high-quality product that has a lot of really good fat-soluble vitamins that is good for your skin, your nails, and will leave your face glowing. So you want to make sure whenever you're putting any type of skincare product on the largest organ system on your body, which is your skin, you want to make sure that it's not loaded with chemicals and it's actually going to have the proper nutrients in it to nourish your skin greatly. And that's why I recommend Tallow Lotion from Great Lakes Organics. You can click on the link in the description below and save 10% on your very own jar of Tallow Lotion today. Now the next fake food to watch out for is honey, and this one's really fascinating. I'll tell you why. Because much of it comes out of China, and it has been found that this food has been faked for a long time. In fact, they're so good at faking the honey that much of the different testing sources that are looking at it can't actually even detect it. And the other thing that I want to mention right now as we're talking about fake foods is that the FDA is actually responsible for monitoring and making sure that high quality foods comes into the United States. And the reality is that they only really thoroughly look at about 2% of it because they put a lot of their resources in looking at different drugs and pharmaceuticals and not as much into food. So a lot of low quality fake foods actually find their way in and don't even get acknowledged. And you're going to find that a lot of honey out there is going to have high fructose corn syrup in it. It's going to have rice syrups in it and a lot of low quality syrups, and is not honey at all. So you want to make sure you're getting the good stuff here. It obviously should be pure honey, and I highly recommend, once again, know the brand that you're buying from. Don't ever be afraid to call up a brand and start asking them questions. I actually do that all the time when it's something that I really like and I use regularly. Olive oil is another fake food. Much of it is going to be split with a whole bunch of other low quality oils. You might find that you can see a bottle of olive oil on the shelf and it's only having like 50% olive oil in it, and the rest is all kinds of random blends. So the key here is looking for extra virgin olive oil and only getting that. This is actually something that I went through a lot of effort in making sure I was buying the best quality product that I could find. And then coffee is another one, because a lot of roasters will take low quality beans and mix it with high quality stuff and then claim that the whole bag is high quality when it could be a 50-50 mix. The other problem is, well, how do you know? They're claiming that it's organic. They're claiming that it's low acid. They're claiming all of these different things. Know the brand and make sure you're getting good quality coffee. The thing you have to remember about coffee is that it is a very highly pesticide sprayed product. And so if you take that pesticide ridden product and then you heat it up and then you run it through most coffee makers, which people use, that are just a whole bunch of plastic, well, now you're pushing hot water through plastic full of pesticides, and then you take coffee, which can actually be a very, very healthy beverage because of its antioxidant quality, and now it is no longer a quality beverage. So know the brand. The other thing you want to watch out for is things like processed. If you see processed on labels, this is something that you're going to watch out for. So packaged foods, processed foods, when you look at any food that has a whole bunch of ingredients that you don't understand, there's a reason you don't understand it, because it's fake foods. The other word you want to look out for is artificial flavorings, artificial colorings. Okay, you're going to find this in a lot of different fake foods here. If your truffle oil or your maple syrup, if it has a whole bunch of artificial flavorings in it, then there's a good chance it's not real, right? So we want to watch out for that as well. So I'm Dr. Zarowski. Be sure to check out the link in the description below to the ancestral based tallow lotion. You won't regret it. Also, be sure to check out this video next.